And then we have amongst most people in our society the fear of rebellion. You know, this is also part of the destruction of the sacred gift of anger. And it's not just men, it's men and women. You know, but you know, I get the most upset about the loss of even wanting to righteously wanting to rebel. Even if you say, we're not going to do that now. I ask people, don't you think it should have already been done? Does the right exist? We have been held under violent duress. Of course the right to rebel against that physically exists. To think that it doesn't, you don't understand what your rights are. Every one of us would be right for taking physical action against the state right now, in the moment, in the millisecond. I'm not saying to go out and immediately do that because, unfortunately, we don't have the minds and hearts of the rest of the population because they're still in a totally fucking brainwashed trance. And they don't understand that that would be a right. You know, so it wouldn't be a practical thing to do. But does the right exist to do it? You better believe it does. Absolutely. And this is something you say to the freedom community and they're like, whoa, don't start talking like that. Why not? What about the American colonists during the Revolutionary War era? They didn't have the right to do what they did to the British who were oppressing them and holding them under duress? Would the slaves of the Civil War era not have the right to physically rebel against their so-called masters? I've said it in my presentations before, they'd have a right to kill every single one of them. Every single one. For even participating in that bullshit. You know, I don't hear people talking like that in this community, though. They're afraid to talk like that. You know, I'm not afraid of these people. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of the government. I'm not afraid of the police. I'm not afraid of the military. You are not spiritually awakened beings. You think you can make someone who is spiritually awakened and connected with the source of creation afraid of you? The only thing I have an amount of trepidation about is just allowing people like that to win and permanently take over. That's what we should be worried about if we're worried about anything. But I'm not physically afraid of them and what they can do to me. You ain't killing nothing if you blow this flesh away. First of all, I know this because to know that the fear of death is the beginning of slavery is what we all really need to that knowledge is what we deeply need to integrate. And why is that the case? That is the case because the flesh is not our identity. And this is where they have people believing that they should be a totally empowered, enlightened, awakened spiritual being, stepping into the truth, which is what gives us our power, and they're curled up in a fetal position in the kingdom of the self, not even understanding their potential or power. And this is where most people are. And that starts with eradicating righteous anger.